All right, guys. Well, hopefully you can hear me, and it's recording through my little lapel mic, and the camera looks very crooked. Maybe I'll be able to edit that. Doesn't look much better, but at least you can see what I'm doing. So let's get this speaker out of here and this grill. And let's see. And hopefully the speaker's working right. The machine wasn't working on that initial boot up, but it did give some beeps and some bells and things like that, which kind of leads me to believe that the speaker's okay. But of course, there was no game sound or anything like that. So um, hoping it's okay, but it's just, I don't know if we'll be able to find this exact one. Because like I said, I want to try to keep everything original. So my plan is, if I can't fix it or get it working, that I want to purchase another one from an actual, a different PacMan unit, right? A different arcade unit. So all the parts, if it's not like new old stock, meaning if it's not replacement parts that someone stored in a storehouse or warehouse somewhere for 40 years, or got lucky and got their hands on it from 40 years ago, then I would need to get an original part from a different machine that's still working. So that's the plan. New old stock or original parts. Have to oh, there's a wire harness here. So let me grab my drill and a battery. Pop this out. So if you're listening and you heard me talk about earlier about not storing old parts and stuff around the garage, I mean, you can just tell by my limited cramped space that I'm working with. You know, there's just too much in here and not enough spaces to store. Okay. So this is just a regular old speaker. Nothing special about it. Just a 6x9 inner box, made in Korea, 8 ohm speaker. So yeah, shouldn't be too hard to find or replace if it is damaged. But yeah, back to my point. There's just so much stuff here in my garage, and I know you're listening like, well, why are you putting an arcade in there if you don't have a room? Don't know. Don't really have an answer, right? I always wanted this arcade, and this is not even my dream arcade. This is not my, or grill, as all the kids like to call everything, is a grill now. This is not my grill. I got it for a good deal. I wanted an arcade. This is my first arcade, but I grew up playing Miss Pac-Man, not this original Pac-Man. But I've always been in love with how the cabinet looks, right? It always had that bright yellow paint on the side and this beautiful logo and the marquee with all of the colors shining. The T-molding on here should be orange, and I believe it was orange. It's just faded, unless these are just remnants of the old one that didn't get replaced. But yeah, it had that bright orange T-molding on it. It was just always such a beautiful machine. So regardless of whether I love it or not, I still wanted this arcade when it came up. For my grill would be a Play Choice 10, the Nintendo one of the ones with the dual screen. Basically like the Mike Tyson Punch Out, or the arcade version of Punch Out that that was released in that Nintendo cabinet. It had the screen at the top and the monitor at the bottom, and it was black, and every time I would see them, they would always be beat up. But yeah, I want to get one of those and restore it to awesome like new condition. So all right folks, it's the next day, and managed to get the machine out. There's rain and thunderstorms on the forecast, so you can see the sky is looking a little cloudy, a little dark, but I'm gonna dust this thing off, give it a light cleaning, and then bring it inside and do some scrubbing and try to clear out some of the hard stains and things like that. So got my compressor hooked up. Let's get some of this dust off. You see these heavy piles of dust again. You saw the bottom up here at the top, so let's see if we can get some cleaning done. All right, I'm going to try to tackle the inside of this cabinet. Let's try to get some of this dust, dirt, screws, and things like that. So I have my vacuum. Let me hit it. So here's something funny. I didn't drop many screws as I was disassembling and everything that I did drop, I picked up. And there is an alarming amount of screws at the bottom of this cabinet. So maybe someone did some work in here before, took things apart, and said, hey, these are extra screws, I can just leave them. I don't know. Anyway, back to cleaning. All right. I'm not sure if you can still hear me with this microphone while the compressor is refilling, but I had to lay it down to really get some of these cracks, things like that. So still with the cleaning. Hey guys, this is Jay. I mentioned before in part 1 how I lost a lot of the video footage from the initial startup and some of the teardown videos and things. Well, this section is no different. A lot of the video that I took of me scrubbing the inside of the cabinet using my power brush, different tools and things, got lost. And the only video that I had to show you was this one. And unfortunately, it doesn't have any audio. So I'm back here at my recording desk, and I figured I'd just do a voiceover just to give some more information about what's going on in this clip. So as you can see from the water hose and the scrubbing brush, it left a lot of moisture inside of the cabinet. So I have my 2 fans going. I have a heater in there to circulate some warm air just to try to eliminate some of that moisture. So that's what you see happening in this part of the video. You can tell on the bottom there's still a lot of moisture on the bottom of the cabinet, but this is where I left off. All right guys, it's been a couple of days, not really much of an update. I did allow the inside of the cabinet to dry. My casters came in, so I have it laid over now. I'm about to install those, but I did run into an issue. Oh, a lot. This particle board back here absorbed a lot of water and started to bubble up and actually crumble. You see down there in the bottom corner, it's like that several spots. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to replace that. So, and I have plenty of wood, so I'll cut a square and I'll replace that section. But yep, too much moisture. Everything else though seemed to dry off pretty good, cleaned up really good, and still just waiting for more parts to come in. So I'm doing a test fit here, and yeah, I think these are gonna look really good. I went with black and orange because even though you're probably not gonna see them much when the cabinet is upright from the front, I thought the orange wheel would look really good with the orange T-molding once I get that on. So, but yeah, they look pretty good. And you would do anything I say. You used to say that you... All right, folks, check it out. I got the casters on, the wheels. You can see them a little bit from the front. They do have a nice orange color, and again, I think that's going to look nice with the with the T-molding once it goes on. But look, it's easier to move around as I'm working on it. I can turn it, adjust it in different ways. Don't have to worry about damaging the bottom. So yeah, it looks good. Even I can lock them into place once I decide on an area. Don't have to worry about it shifting around on me. So I'm happy with them. They look good. Next step, I guess, is to continue with the cleaning and to remove this this busted T-molding. So we spray it down a little bit, let it soak. Real dirty here at the top. So I think what's on the agenda for tonight is, or for this evening, I'm going to go ahead and cut the panel on the inside, on the back, over the monitor, and get that part cut out. And may not have time to install it, but at least I'll have it cut for tomorrow when I get off work. I can come home and start removing this old one. Let me really get this bottom pretty heavy. That's pretty dirty. And that way all I can do is just install it. So, oh, I forgot to, these old state of Texas and city of Houston, I don't know, the little license permits or whatever they are. Yeah, tax permit. I plan on saving those. So what I'm going to do is get my heat gun out. Instead of scraping them off with a razor, I'm going to get my heat gun out, kind of remove them, and then they're useless. They're all expired. This one's 1996, 1985. This one's 1985. There was another one over there from like 92 or 93. Another couple of more on the inside that I removed. They're useless, but it's just part of the history of the machine. You know what I mean? Just kind of a almost like stamping your passport, right? You can't do anything with the stamp. It just shows where the machine's been and just gives a little history of it. So I'm gonna hold on to those after the cabinet's painted and the stencils placed on there and everything. I'm gonna stick those stickers maybe on the back. Maybe on the back, so it doesn't ruin my our hard work from putting on the new label. I mean the new paint and side art. So I probably won't stick it there, but I'll just put it, or either I'll do a small little plexiglass panel and just put all of them on and stick the panel on the back side of the cabinet. So again, it's all with the idea of just trying to keep everything as original as possible. I'm already pretty disappointed that I ruined cleaning the cabinet. I ruined this back part, so I have to do that. After I thought about this one, but then that'll just be another piece that takes away from that originality. And it's not broken. It just kind of sags a little bit. The marquee art still sits on there flush. It still sits even. Looks fine. So I think that I'm just going to replace just that back panel. So this last part is just me cleaning the power pad, the transformer and the wiring harness and everything. Just giving it a scrubbing and getting a lot of that dirt and grime. If you remember, this was at the bottom of the cabinet, so it was in really dusty and dirty shape. So won't bore you with all of the details, but basically pulled everything out, gave it a good scrubbing, a good washing, and allowed it to dry out in the sun. Easy. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.